This is the longer form context of a post I made earlier on TikTok talking about testosterone. Got a ton of questions. It's just easier to make a longer form video. Now, of course, I'm not a doctor or any kind of scientist. My only credentials are I'm a lifelong gym rat. I'll be 52 in a few days. I still wear 31, 34 Levi's, 6 foot tall, 196 pounds, still chiseled, got all that going on. Now, why does that matter and why can that be at least an anecdotal credential? I don't have anything to sell. I don't have a book. I don't have a product. I don't own stock in any company. Any lifelong fitness gym rat types out there, they'll know what I'm talking about is you're in your teens, you're in your early 20s, and so on and so on. You pick up certain practices and habits. You're trying to learn. You keep what works. You discard what doesn't. Personally, I'm a carnivore. I'll go out for pizza once every couple weeks or something. I drink a little bit. Other than that, I'm pretty clean. Am I going to push carnivore or a keto diet on everybody? No. The human body is the human body, but we're different enough that some people adapt a little differently. I would say the heavier you are, that is, the easier you put on fat, adipose tissue, the more you really need to seriously consider a carb-free diet. That's my experience, and what I bring is just really a lifetime of studying and experimenting on myself, and I know what works and I know what doesn't work. So the gist of my post on TikTok was the average man walking around today has half of the testosterone that his grandfathers did 50, 60, 70 years ago. Now, I wrestled a little bit whether or not I should put a bunch of links up for different studies, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table and I'm writing stuff down and I'm copying and pasting links into my phone so I can post them later. Then I thought that's kind of tedious, and I'm going to point everybody to a couple different experts, actual scientists in this video anyway. The people that really want to learn, the people that are open to new information, you're going to need to look this stuff up anyway. And fortunately, in the comment section is very, very few out of 30, 40, whatever thousand views, only a couple that I saw, people just dug in their heels and didn't want to hear it. Don't know why, whatever. This is easily researched, a couple simple Google searches. Nobody disputes that testosterone rates are falling. There is a little bit of an argument as to why. Fine, fair enough. And there's a little bit of an argument as where your levels should be. So what should a man's testosterone level be at? I say 800. A lot of research out there for that. The average man in the 1940s, when they first really started testing for this, his average was around 800. Now, this guy wasn't a gym rat. He wasn't doing yoga. He wasn't a vegetarian. He was smoking 2 packs of Luckies every day and drinking a 6-pack of Schlitz for dinner. Average male today is somewhere around 300, maybe 350. Now, look at the rest of my content. I do push for men's health. I do push for men to make the best of themselves, but I get into other things, of course, as well. More to the point of my specific content is hormones affect how we think. There's no debate, no argument on that. Of course they do. And how you think affects how you act. Now look at all the little things that come up. Vulnerability is strength and all this other nonsense that's been on my post recently. The basic feminization of men over the last 50 or 60 years. The demonization of traditional masculinity. The DSM actually calls traditional masculinity a disorder. There is a battle going on here. Men are not seen as valuable anymore. Men are seen as defective women, and we just need to be more like women in order to fit into society. And guys like this Robbie Harvey guy that stitched me the other day, Lewis Howes, another guy that was saying some nonsense, they're actively trying to get you to act and feel and think more like women. Why? That's a different video, but the effort is obvious. More to the questions that I was getting repeatedly in the comment section, what to do. First of all, Dr. Anthony J. wrote a book, Estrogeneration. Get it on audio, listen to it, absorb it. Short version of that is plastic is bad. Wherever you're at right now watching this video, look around you and consider how much plastic is surrounding you. Now, the worst of it is anything touching your food that is also heated up. Then one step past that's plastic in general. And it's a long process because you'll immediately think of some things to get rid of. And then it'll be 6 months, a year later, and you're thinking you're pretty much plastic free, and you're going to look around and go, oh, well, that's not good. It is an ongoing process, but it's your health, so you do what you want. All of your toiletries, deodorant, lotions, shampoos, soaps, you need to find natural alternatives. If it does not explicitly spell out that it's natural, that it doesn't contain parabens and phthalates and fragrances, stay away from it. It's lowering your testosterone. We get into food. Personally, I get most of my food from a local farmer. When I say most, 95% of my food from a local farmer. Now, I'm in southern Indiana. It's not hard to find a local farmer, but this is grass-finished beef, eggs right off the farm, raw milk, pastured pork. And what I do need to buy from the grocery store, just buy the best stuff you can find. Do some research and figure out, can I buy it locally? Great. If not, what's the best version I can get in the store? Which leads into another good example of, if it's in a package, if it's in a pre-sealed bag, bottle, box, don't eat it. It's not good. So you start to get rid of the plastics, anything with the fragrance, anything with the weird color, phthalates, parabens, all these things. You start to eat very clean. Experiment on yourself, but you're going to find, if you're sincere and objective in your efforts, you're going to find that the lower carb you go, the better off you are. You start eliminating things from your diet, you start getting rid of the plastic, you start doing those other things, you're going to start to see improvements. The bigger question, at least in terms of what I'm sort of not afraid to answer, but I need to be careful. I'm not a doctor. I can't give professional advice. However, I'm not saying this just to be careful for community guidelines. I believe this. I used to be a personal trainer back in my 20s. I would tell people the same thing. Do not take testosterone or any other performance enhancing anything until you have absolutely exhausted every effort, changed your lifestyle, got rid of the plastics, you're eating clean, you're sleeping well. There's so many factors that go into this. Fix your habits, fix your daily life, do all of that first. If you still can't get your testosterone up over 800 or at least 800, then consider TRT. Go to a clinic. Most family doctors, general practitioners, they're not on board with it. It's already in the comment section. I could have predicted it. There's doctors all over the country telling men they've got 200-300 level testosterone, and the doctors are telling them they're fine. No, that's not fine. And the men that have 200 and 300 level testosterone, you know that's not fine. You can tell. So, to the possibly thorny issue, am I going to tell people go on TRT? Only as a last resort. And I'm not against it at all. But it should not be a band-aid to cover over lifestyle habits that need to be fixed anyway. So if you want to do TRT, fine. There's guys in the comments running gear, grew up in the gym, lifelong. I get it. I was a trainer. I know all the ins and outs. But don't jump on testosterone or gear or any of that before fixing lifestyle habits. You're just chasing your tail at that point.